am James Lott JR, and I don't normally watch that. Today's edition is really fresh. I just watched it last night. It is the Challenge USA on CBS. Premiered after premiere of Big Brother 24, which I do watch normally. So that's another story. But the Challenge USA is a spinoff of the Challenge that's on MTV, been going on for years. Nice. I watched that show back in the early days. I remember it was called the Real World Road Rules Challenge. You remember that? Yes, remember that. That was a long time ago. So I haven't watched it, but I know some people who are on it over and over again. People talk about it, blah, blah. Well, I decided to watch the Challenge USA because I was curious, because it's 4 different sets of people from 4 CBS shows coming together to compete. And I guess the premise is they win some money, of course, but also the winner gets to go on to be part of Big Brother International, or Big Brother International, the Challenge International, something, whatever, they compete everybody else. Okay, so the challenge are these kind of crazy challenges and stuff. So I know the premise of the show, and it's you come on, it's the whole thing about forming alliances, and all that stuff. I know how these are produced, whatever. But still, the thing that I like about the premise of the show, that actually when I was watching, like, yeah, that would be interesting, is that the 4 shows represented, Big Brother, Amazing Race, Survivor, and Love Island, are all 4 very distinct shows. I never watched Love Island. I've never seen an episode in my entire life, so I have no idea what's going on there. People are always hot. Everybody's hot from that show, apparently. But I've never watched it. But obviously it's one of those love shows, whatever. But I'm assuming, I'm just because I've seen other love competition shows like Paradise Hotel and all those back in the day. You remember that show? You remember it. That there's a whole different thing going on there, using sexuality and stuff and emotions on that. But I watched the other 3. I watched Amazing Race, which is on the run. You do challenges. A lot of them are you're in different locales. It's very international. You're doing challenges based on where you are, all that kind of stuff, working as teams, things like that. Big Brother, of course, I watch, which is a social game mostly. So you're in a house together for 3 months and you're doing all these challenges, but it's a social game as well as a game of playing. It's very, very heavy gameplay, right? I watch Survivor off and on, and Survivor is you're in extreme conditions. I mean, you almost say Big Brother extreme conditions too, because you're inside a house. But luckily you're inside a house. But in Survivor, you're out the wild, kind of fight off the wild while doing competitions and the whole voting thing. And it's also social too. So I was like, that all, and you see pieces of that going on during the conversations, kind of going, okay, everybody's trying to figure out who goes where, and it's like, yeah, it's very much how do you do this? It's very interesting. Now, here's the place where I have it. Now, I'll get to the problem last. So there's that. I'd like the first challenge. It's always some over-the-top, scary challenge. They're in Buenos Aires. Oh, spoiler alert! If you're watching the show, don't watch it. Spoiler. They are in Buenos Aires. Great place. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Great. I love it. They have to go over a building that's 22 stories high, of course. Not all that. But what's funny is it's a math thing. You have to kind of, every few floors, you have to add up these numbers to make a certain number at the bottom to make it. That was interesting. And the teams, they had to pick a team, boy-girl teams of 2 and do that. So that was whatever. So they did that. I was thoroughly entertained. Then they had the people at the lowest, with the top. They had people to challenge, of course, and it was a rope knotting challenge. That looked very hard. Woo, looked tiring too. Cheese and crackers, and all that. And they had to go home. There was 2 folks home. If you didn't watch this, 2 folks from Levine had to go home. So and then now they reveal at the end that every single challenge, every single week is going to be a different twosome. Until every twosome combination has been done. Then if every combination is done, you will not be a second in a row. It's like it's that part kind of outrageous. You might think I'm making alliances. I'm going to do this, I'll do that. We're this, get rid of that. Well, that's all done because now every week you have somebody different. So that was very interesting. So for the hour and a half premiere, I was thoroughly entertained. I was able to set aside whatever I know about producing reality TV, and I was really able to enjoy myself. I have to say this. Here's my problem. Yeah, it has to be a problem, right? It has to be a problem. The problem for me was the casting. I don't know Love Island, but of course they're going to cast exes together on a show. That just makes sense. That makes sense to cause friction. You got to produce a show. Survivor had, to me, actually a nice mix of different seasons and different people. I knew who Tyson was, and I was like, oh, okay. Mix of people. It seemed decent. Same with Amazing Race. Didn't seem super bad to me, the mixture. It's like, I was like, okay. They had Leah, who I love, the Afghanimal. I'm a big Leo fan. They had James, the gay guy who won the one season. They had a little mix of folks on that one. But Big Brother, come on, CBS. Literally, most of the cookout from last season, plus the two people they were their allies and voted them out. So it's like 6-7 people from the same season really are on the show. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah. Now Xavier, I don't know. I always feel like they have winners on, like Xavier who won, because Xavier, Kyland, Tiffany, I'm just not a fan. She won America's House. I'm like, people are trying to make her I think she was horrible on Big Brother, but they love her for some reason. People are loving her. I don't know why. I don't know why. She's on it. Asa, who's pretty but not exciting at all. I mean, she's not exciting. Almost fainted or whatever on this. I'm not a fan of her. I'm like, really? I just think this. I'm like, when I saw Enzo, I was like, oh, they're going back in time. Come on, Enzo. I hadn't seen him in a while doing this. They had a few people. I was like, same thing I saw Dominic on for the A's. I was like, I haven't seen him in a while either. But they had Enzo. I was like, okay, Enzo, that's an oldie but goodie. They're playing in there. Let me look at this cast again. Let me look at here. I have the cast photo. I'm gonna look at it really quick while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, it's mostly from season 7. I'm like, really? Yeah. And they had homegirl, Angela, I remember from her season. Again, somebody bland. I'm like, really? I'm like, where's a Davon? Or I mean, she's probably busy on X on the Beach or whatever. But like, where's some other people? There's like, you have 23 seasons of this show, and like, where's Rachel or something? I always just wonder. So I'm sure they probably asked some people who are like, nah, I'm out of the game. I really don't really care anymore to do this. But I'm sure there's a bunch of others who want to really continue in reality TV and make money in it, and just like they want to do it. And I'm like, I don't know, it just seems a little weird to me. But you can do whatever you want, obviously. It's your show, you can cast however you want, but it just seems a little weird to me. So I don't know that casting choice. So anyway, but I was thoroughly entertained. I'm actually going to watch this episode of it. I'm going to give it a chance, watch another episode, because it comes on after Big Brother on Wednesday. So I'm going to see if I continue to like it. Sometimes these shows, I like the beginning, and after a while, it peters out for me, and I'm like, I'm just not a reality TV person anymore. I just know too much. I've seen too much. But Big Brother is my show. I just let all conventions go out the window when it comes to Big Brother. But I'm gonna see if I can continue to watch this. And TJ Levitt, seeing TJ host it, it was like, he's a legend. He's a long time legend. So it's kind of, I'd have to smile when I saw him walk out. That was good. I'm James Lott Jr. All the episodes are on this channel, JLJ Media. They're all video only. There's no audio version anymore. It's just video only. Check out what I don't check out normally. And I have guests on the show that talk about things they don't watch. It's a lot of fun. This show's a lot of fun to do because it does give you a chance. There's so much television out there. I have a list of shows I'm going to try to watch because I don't normally watch that. I'm just curious. And if anything, and some of them actually turn me over to them and some don't. If you have some suggestions, comment below. Doing shows you think I should watch. You may not know what I watched once, but just put suggestions down. And if I can tell you if I watch it or not. If I don't watch it, maybe I'll check it out. I'm James Lott Jr. and I will see you next time.